I'm Tyler Mello. I'm 16 years old. I'm currently a junior in high school. I'll be a senior next year. And for college, I plan to go to UC Davis, Fresno State, or Wyoming. Okay, so some of my favorite things from AP Biology was I got to hang out with some of my friends every day, got to sit where I wanted to, so I had some fun with Noah, Clay, and Darshawn. Probably my favorite memory was getting a 95% on the unit exam for Unit 2. That was pretty cool because good scores on exams are hard to come by in AP Biology, so it was pretty cool. So some things I liked about AP Biology. One thing was how the push versus reward at the same time. So you got pushed really hard and you had to do a lot of work, but at the same time, you know, you also got a lot out of it. You learned a lot, and plus it compensated for it on the exams and such. So if, you know, everyone didn't do good in an exam, that would get curved a little bit, and you'd get some more points because it's a really difficult class. So that was really cool how, you know, it's kind of a reward for really working hard. And so another thing that was pretty cool was if you didn't finish an assignment on time, which you were pressured to, you were supposed to finish an assignment on time, but if you didn't, you still got 80% on it as long as you finished it before a certain point, usually an exam. So that was also pretty cool. And another thing was, you know, Mr. Burns is a really cool guy. He's a really relatable guy. He's really cool. So he likes 49ers, Patrick Willis right there. So yeah. Okay, so a couple things I didn't like about the class was more towards the beginning of the year. It was really difficult, but that was only because it was a new class, and so we were all learning how to study, how we had to study for it, and Mr. Burns was learning as well. So once we got that all figured out and treated it a little bit differently, it really got straightened out. And then another thing was, you know, the work can get a little bit overwhelming, but as long as you don't put it off, you should be fine. Do not procrastinate whatsoever, but you should be fine. But that's another thing, the work can get overwhelming, but you'll be fine as long as you just don't procrastinate at all. Okay, so my 5 tips. My first tip is erasable pens. They come in really handy because, you know, pen is really good to write with. It's more legible, you can see it. It's darker than pencil, and with erasable pen, you're able to erase if you mess up, obviously. So that's just a pretty cool little perk that you can get with erasable pens instead of just regular pens or pencils. It's kind of a mixture between both, and it really helps. Another tip is keep your binder organized at all times. You have binder checks systematically over the course of the year, and so you want to keep it organized at all times. And even when there's not a binder check, you still want to keep it organized so that if you want to review for an assignment or a quiz or an exam, you know where to go in your binder to study and to look for past assignments that you could use to study for the exam. Another piece of advice is do the study guides all over the course of the unit. So he'll give you a study guide at the beginning of the unit, and do not wait till the end of the unit because it usually takes a couple of hours to finish with concept maps and questions and everything. So do it over the course of the unit so that as you comprehend stuff, you can learn it and you can retain the knowledge better. And so that when you get closer, instead of having to jam pack all that work into that certain time, that you can just use it to study right before the exam instead of having to do it all the night before and then being tired the day of. Another tip is to prepare heavily for the exams. The exams are a very large part of your grade, so if you want to do good in the class, it relies heavily on your scores in the exams, and they're usually really hard. They're questions you haven't seen before, and there's going to be free response and multiple choice, which are they're both very difficult. So if you want to get a good grade in the class, it starts with the exam, and you can't get a good grade on the exam unless you study. And studying for the exam includes anything from past assignments to study guides to videos on YouTube, anything that you can use. You want to start studying. Don't study just the night before. Try to study, maybe start 2 or 3 nights before and get a little bit of knowledge in it at a time so that you're not jam-packing it right before. just make sure you study for the exams because they're really crucial. Another is, last one is to go in at lunch if you don't understand something. Don't be reluctant to ask Mr. Burns if you can come in at lunch and learn, because he's usually there on Tuesdays through Fridays or Tuesdays through Thursdays or something. I forget what the exact schedule is, but essentially he'll be there, and if you want to come in and whether it be just work on an assignment or you can ask him about anything, go in there and ask him. He'll help you out, because it really helps if you're not understanding something, because he has to teach a large class. But if you want to get some one-on-one and just particularly what you're not understanding, then that's what you could use to just gain a little more knowledge, prepare for the exams and just everything, biology, AP bio test at the end of the year, AP biology test. And so yeah, just go in at the, try to go into his class at lunch if you're not understanding something. It'll really help. One resource that I used a lot when studying for the exams was Bozeman Science on YouTube. He really helped. Some people like Crash Course. I like Bozeman a little bit more because he's just a little more simple. He doesn't talk as fast, and so you can really understand what he's saying. And he goes through step by step of everything from bioenergenetics to regular chemistry. So anything that might be unclear, chances are in that 10-minute video that he has, he'll clear it up for you and allow you to really understand and fully grasp the concept. If there's one thing that I could go back and change if I did it again, what I would do more is definitely go in and ask Mr. Burns unclear questions or concepts that I didn't understand, just because it would have helped a little bit more, cleared up a few more things, maybe got a few more questions right on the exams. It just helps a little bit more, because he's really open to helping students if they don't understand everything, and he's definitely not one of those teachers who just doesn't want to mess with people outside of class. He really is an interactive teacher that wants to help you. And so just don't be reluctant to ask questions and going in at lunch if you need extra help. Okay, so some additional advice that I have for any AP biology incoming students is just, you got to buck up. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be hard exams, big study guides, everything that you might have heard already or maybe not. But as long as you put the work in and you study and you really try, you will be fine. There's nothing to worry about. You just have to work hard. And it's like anything in life, you just have to work hard and you'll be fine no matter what. So just buck up and get it done. Don't be a wuss. You got this. And that concludes my AP Biology video. So thank you for watching, and good luck next year.